Traffic stop for a possible DUI ends as a police chase and shots being fired by officers. Good afternoon, this is for Friday. A plus because there is another pursuit going on in downtown Los Angeles. He is speeding southbound on Alameda, a light, and this is the 7th. The fact that this vehicle was stolen and that the Olympic division had begun, and they followed him to South Central Los Angeles before coming back up here. Downtown area, just next to the 10 freeway or right here. Keeping with that, we're not sure if the guys are nearly ready for another car at this point. We will once more be in the downtown area and will be in a better location slightly to the west of La Alama and north of the 10 freeway. Okay, so you guys saw what's more while driving completely recklessly. We saw someone almost hit another car and then made another turn that cut off several vehicles in downtown Los Angeles. Yes, we have been informed that this began in Vermont, Washington as a call for reinforcement. Following reports of a stolen vehicle, she ultimately pursued the case. Perhaps at the back mic, it appears to be an outside side. Yes, motorbikes. A richer camera was providing us with information on what it appeared to be like in the back, which is part of the 1,000 that got to pay off. They have good eyes on the driver along the other side of that truck. Rich guys running the driver. They should be able to take him into custody because they have a lot of backup units. Hopefully they are stuck in the building now, and it will only be a matter of time before he is finally placed under arrest. As you can see, they are currently setting up a chronometer. Central officers and Olympic officers are working together. Because of the traffic, it should be very easy to capture this guy in either direction for a few blocks. This space. Many people are there to watch, so if the officers ball but early last side, there are plenty of people who could stay in the store or the parking lot. However, they should be able to return to the court office area fairly quickly, as it is located north of the 10 freeway and west of Alabama. The conclusion of a stolen vehicle pursuit involving a white Dodge Ram van. You mentioned that the pickup truck was close to the 10, but it didn't seem like the pursuit lasted long. Look at all the officers going in. Wow, that looks like a lot of police officers moving in left peed into that possible type of business or production. As you observed, they sealed off the other side of the building a short while ago. Honestly, there's no way out of this situation, and from what you said, it seems like we've seen 25 officers. And as you said, if you're just joining us, the other side is this pink building. The suspect was apprehended from his car, which was stolen. It had a motorcycle in the back where it was east of the pizzeria. In reality, the rear of the building is where the storage and possibly the drop-off areas are, but he was in that building somewhere where he was actively working. Operation, he's likely just inside since a lot of the employees ran out as well, so they got this covered with the perimeter. You mentioned that we are unsure whether an officer is down or whether there is a suspect, but that is the exact stage that you know. The frightening aspect of these pursuits is that frequently the agents are unaware of whether a suspect is dangerous, they are driving at high speeds and dodging police officers, but in any case, dealing with an armed suspect is always a great experience, particularly when the pursuit is almost over and the agent bails out of the car. Right, so this is all stemming pursuit of a white pickup truck, which is really two stolen vehicles because there was a motorbike in the back of the pickup and he bailed and ran inside this building. I just hope that no innocent workers in that building were injured. That is our current location. What are you going to say, Mike? Oh, Crate Point you. Please let me know what they know and what we don't know if they do is the circumstances. Dodge Ram pickup truck that has been stolen. If any notes indicate that the suspect was armed or that the vehicle was taken at gunpoint like a carjacking. That hasn't been decided yet, but for that to go in after the suspect who fired shots, you got to consider the possibility that they saw something in the building that they weren't sure about or that they knew he was. I could see about 25 people who were white and black. So they had this area surrounded and people didn't need to worry about this guy escaping. He has no intention of going anywhere. He's inside this building providing support during a brief fire call. And the scanner is ready to go. As we're discussing, you probably noticed a few times that the images on the right side of your screen are from earlier in the time this pursuit was active. On that left turn, you can see that they're almost clipping another car. And that pedestrian follows this one shortly after. Out of this, but in pictures on the left-hand side of our lives, are the foot soldiers. Rich Pitt can tell you that you can't speak, but he is familiar with the officer's body language. Sometimes, on scenes where it seems like you know a little bit more casually or uptight, he can give us some indications. However, Mike knows you can speak to him. Regarding that, you are correct. Companies are casual at the end of a pursuit, but I understand that their goal is to get this guy into the company as soon as possible. This densely populated area in downtown Los Angeles is located slightly south or north of the 10 freeway near Alameda. Many people are out and about, so they are worried and would go as soon as he stopped the car to check on their safety if they thought he was there since they wanted to get settled as soon as possible. The building's winning side is going directly up if they didn't know he was. But this time, nobody is relaxing until the handcuffs are activated. We just confirmed that we are going to check with the police helicopter that is biting this puppy because he is according to the vessel, but we might or might not have a suspect or an officer down. We'll try to get something for the well. It appears as though you were talking about body language and how they are trying to get people to come back, which leads you to believe that this is a live situation and that the suspect is still there even though those shots have been fired because they are attempting to keep spectators farther away for their safety. Indeed. It is somewhat to the right of your screen, as you can see. Mike is currently speaking with someone who just came out of Chopper. I overheard the LAPD officers, who you know are trained for this kind of stuff. The officers ran right away, but then other officers formed a perimeter around the building and, more importantly, the entire block. Now, 6 or 7 minutes later, the officers are coordinating pedestrians who appear to be as lost as you might be. Hi, I've seen something here. They want to come over to see what's happening and to take pictures, but as Glenn said, they want to keep them away for their safety. I can listen in on a small amount of your conversation or if you discover new information. Before ending here, we did what we did. We spoke with the pilot of a 4-person police helicopter that is currently orbiting the subject, who is a follower in this pursuit. And just north of the 10 freeway, we understand that the situation that may go wrong is if the suspect, the driver of the pickup truck, is suspected of having stolen a weapon. We're not sure when or where they obtained that information, but the weapon appears to have been stolen. The officers were aware that the baby in the car was stolen. We are unsure of the extent of the injuries, though. However, shots were fired very immediately after entering the building. The suspect was taken out and the area was cordoned off. It is understood that all officers were responsible for any injuries sustained by their colleagues, right here at the end of a pursuit shooting. There seems to be no ambulance on the scene yet, and Mike, it's been a little while since it seems like they are going to call an ambulance pretty soon. As you are aware, we are trying to look into both of the 4 directions here, and all sane units rescue ambulances with a pair of Vatican I airports. Although I haven't seen those yet, as you can imagine, there's quite a bit of traffic downtown. However, I would have called Sir to say that as soon as the shots were fired, Call went out of paper and saw a reserve ambulance immediately, so all it had to do was get him here to the suspect. And this began in the Olympia division. According to Lapt, a Washrain and Vermont guys who are still unidentified, this vehicle was stolen and seems to have been used within that building. The suspect's driver may be linked to this building or this business in particular. Thus, all of those responses to our inquiries will eventually be addressed, even if this investigation is now ongoing and rather honest in its attempt to determine the precise nature of the events. However, we now know that is the suspicion that is Poe at least. Did you like it? Tell us what you think of the video in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting videos.